right. Part 3 for the day. It's not part 3 overall, it's just for the day. That's kind of unusual for me, but I'm just really interested in this series, so I'm gonna keep working on it today. We left off getting a rough draft for the Overworld. You can see the danger counter decrementing as we move along. So the main thing I think I need to tackle currently is checking which cell the player's on and assigning that a danger value based on the type of cell. For example, the woods will maybe have like a factor of 2, whereas the grass will be a factor of 1, and then something like the mountains, right, would be like a factor of 3. But actually, I think before we do that, we want to get enemy spawn zones. And for that, I'm going to drag in from a previous Dragon Quest project I was working on, because I have something that's already in there, and I think it's in here, TileMap Extended probably. What would it be? Tile interactions, maybe. I'm going to take a look at these. So these are, this is not what we want. That's just like translating the cells to a item or some kind of trigger. So I don't need that right now. And tile interaction, tile transitions, tile transition floor. Don't need that. I'm probably going to rewrite all of those anyway. Let's see if it's down here. Shader overlay, no. Is it in worlds? By the way, I want to mention that I do put chapters on all of my videos. So if you find me getting stuck on something, which might happen here, you know, it's not the most exciting content. I'm just looking through folders for a specific file. Yeah, feel free to jump ahead. You can do that either with the chapters or just going 10, 5, whatever seconds at a time by using your keyboard or the whatever shortcut. Double tapping. Okay, so back to looking. If I were me, where the heck would I put this? I might have to open up that project just to see where that was. Yeah, let's do that real quick. No harm in doing that. That's not Dragon Quest. Just checking all my videos uploading. Cool. All right. Probably hear that motorcycle. It's my very fun neighbor. Can you sense my sarcasm? All right, enemy spawn areas, land. Enemy spawn areas. That was in worlds. So, all right, now I know what to grab. I will turn this on so you can see what it looks like in here. You can see how it has numbers. These are the tiles in the tile map. And they correspond to a area that we then have an array of possible enemies with a weighted chance for them to spawn. So let's go and get that into our new project. We're not going to save that. Turn-based tutorial. And so it's in worlds. We have enemy spawn areas. I had missed that. Now, doesn't it need... Oh, you know what? I don't know if I saved that tile map from the the other project. So we're going to save this thing real quick and go back. Because I'm not seeing it right away in there, so we have to find those. So right now I only have the script. And I was right, we did not save that, so let's save it now. That's going to be enemy spawn. And I'm also going to need the art for that. So it looks like in this project I had all in one. Just going to make sure. Not seeing it right away. Should tell me in here. Enemy area tiles.png, which is in battle actors, which is not correct. So I'm just going to drag it out. Just in case I ever come back to this project, I want it to be organized. Well, enemy spawn area is right here. It's for the area. That must have been a test. Let's just throw it in there with worlds. Save that, make sure it still works, looks good. And then we're going to go to our project list. Do a reload. So now we have that. Go to world art. And I think we have the tile. Yeah, we need this. Now I'm going to move that out. Make a new tile map. We're going to give it that script and that tile set resource. I think I just have to update. Oh crap, that's for 8x8. That's not going to work. And it doesn't have the picture. That's okay. We're going to have to modify this real quick. Actually, we need to modify it to 20x20. So, not the end of the world. Let's close that. I don't need people. Or that. Alright, so we're just going to stretch it out. So if we, not the canvas, we want the sprite. We want, so it's 4x4, and these have to be 20 by 20. So that would mean, what's that math? 4 times 8, right, is 32. So we just want 80 by 160. I think that is adding up, right? Yeah, cool. And we save a copy as, we'll put it in the turn-based tutorial. That's not the right folder. We want game art. Then we go to turn-based RPG. Enemy area tiles. We can close that out. We don't want to save the original. And we go to game art. Now see how these just stretched up. I can make this right. New atlas. Double check our snap options and let's call it areas. Enemy spawn areas. We're gonna make this semi-opaque. So now we click on areas. See how I can do this? Needs to be a little bit more opaque or less opaque. something like that. And then when we're done editing the map, we just turn it off, right? I think that's already on the script anyway. Like if I forget about it, we hide it. And then these have to all be updated to work with our new enemies. So I'm gonna get a couple areas. Oops, why can't I see that? I have the fill tool, that's why. I'm just gonna kind of sketch this out. And, yeah, maybe something like that. We can fill that. Then we're gonna do area 1. I'll have a separate layer for ocean. So that's layer 1. And done. Let me see. What get enemies weighted at cell. Areas weighted. That's just returning. It's getting the auto tile width. Yeah, that's fine. Auto tile chord. I really shouldn't hard code that, but we're just figuring out what tile we're using, what index of that tile, and we're translating that to this array. Whoops. So let's do bat. Maybe like 3. I think I have a slime in there. Oops. Maybe there are 3 and the bat's 1. Let me check our enemies. Not in there. Battle. We have bat and slime. Yeah. Let's add the slime enemy. I'm just copying these for quick setup. Maybe up here, bats are more likely. Slimes are less likely. And maybe there's a third enemy. Like, maybe we start seeing the cockroach. And maybe they're more likely. Okay. So now, what we can do is our overworld can call this based on the cell that the player is on. And based on which area that cell is a part of, it's going to return one of these arrays. I'm going to comment these out because we're not using them right now. And let's figure out how we're going to set that up. So the player's walking. They need to be sending up a moved signal, I believe, would be good. And their position. Yeah, we'll just call it pause. And so Overworld wants that. They want it bad. Overworld doesn't have a script though, so they're going to need that. I think that's the way. Or do we want to connect directly to main? No. Overworld's going to be the boss. Overload, that's kind of how I feel right now. Give me 1 sec. I'm going to turn my fan on. Okay. So Overworld can now receive that signal from the player. Oh man. Which I think is right. I think the main thing right now is we need that. And then player's just going to bounce that up. You know what? You know what? Let's rethink our organization here. No, we'll keep that. I like that. But the run factor is going to be influenced, or rather the danger countdown is going to be influenced by the tile that we're on. So I think I do need danger to be outside of the player. We're going to give it to the Overworld. And that's going to emit danger reached. Overworld wants to talk to danger. So when the player moves, what we want to do is we want to determine what tile we're on there. So I think we're going to call this something more specific. Like main tile map, and give it, you know what, I don't really care. Maybe Overworld just holds that. That's fine. Main map, let's call it that. That sounds good. Okay. Function get threat level. We're going to turn it in. For now, it's just going to be that. Var cell vector 2 equals map. Sorry, world to map position. Var tile int equals get cell v cell. We're going to do a match on that tile, which I will fill out shortly. Right now, it defaults to returning threat level of 1. And so here we can do, also player move needs to know, we need to know if they're run factor, which I think is a float. You're not going to work with danger directly anymore. Might as well bring that down because we're not using it up here. We look right. So player moved, we do danger.countdown. It's going to be just run factor. Plus we need the threat level. And I think that's all we need there. Danger limit reached. We need to get the area that we're on. What do I call it? Just gonna change that. Probably just store the player's last position here, or we can get a reference to the player. And we can do this. Get rid of that. And that. I think I want this to be an export. And like for testing, we'll do a low number so we can get encounters faster. There's one more thing I want to do. See if this is waiting. So we know it's triggering right. See how the arrays changed? So we're in area 1 right now. We're back in area 0. And that's just telling us the possible enemies and their chances of appearing. So what we then do is we send that down to battle for battle to handle. Or I guess we could choose the cohort up here. Battle's already kind of beefy. Need to put Battle on the diet. Or they're just big boned. So the transition to the battle. For one, we need screen flash here. Excuse me. And so we don't need to print that. I think we can send it down the battle when we spawn the battle scene. And how do I want to handle that? There are a few ways. You can use change scene or change scene to. But I'd have to store all the data of the overworld. I think what I'll probably do is we'll have something that encapsulates overworld. We can call this like game. Okay. Then game will get, this can be just in the general folder. Let's go take a look. Then what we're going to do is take overworld and place it in game. Game should now be the default or the main scene. And so game will now handle scene transitions. And here we can knit that with enemies weighted. All right, beautiful. Let's put game at the front because it's now the top level scene of our game. We can save overworld, and then we want to connect enemy encounter to game. Game needs a script. Do that. Why did that work? I think we can call it game. It's weighted array. Okay. We also want battle. Or do I just want to instance that each time? I think that might be the way to go. Yeah, we'll do that. So we're going to have battle is going to be a packed scene. I forgot to put preload. So battle, the inst is going to get the enemy's weighted array. So guess that enemies, save that. See how that pops up once I save that script? Equals enemies weighted. We're just sending that to battle. We're going make overworld, give that a reference, because then we can do things like one ready bar. We can remove child overworld, go to battle. So we add child inst. Then we can yield to inst tree exiting. And add child overworld. If we actually do that, wait for finish. Let's see. So player, we're gonna need, I think. I'm gonna set that in here. So now we can do well, yeah, enable false. We want to idle. On yes, false. Just do set process on. And if not on, then we idle. Screen flash screen flash. Do I need any? What does it need? The node and the animation. Self and enemy encounter. I believe it's what it's called. We have to look at screen flash for that. Should tell me in here. No? Just have to pull up screen flash. Look at its animation player. That'll start. And then yield to it tree exiting. This should also return the so that we can use it. So we can do this. So we can, in one line, create the screen flash, play the animation, and yield until it's done. Then we get rid of the overworld. So enemies waited. I'm not using that yet in battle, but we should be able to test the transition. Yeah, that looks perfect, right? It's not. I don't know what that was. Maybe I need a canvas layer. Oh, it's because we have another camera, right? Okay. I think even without that canvas layer, what I can do is in battle, We want to make its camera current. Which it should already be. And if not, we're just going to need a canvas layer, pretty sure. So that's all getting pushed up. I think I had this issue before. not a modulate. Modulate would be if we're doing like a day-night cycle. Let's try that. Little janky. Let's see if that fixes our viewport issues. Beautiful. So the only thing is we're not seeing our screen flash. Temporary. Just call it canvas layer 0. Because I'm going to use it for other things too. So we're actually going to put the screen flash on that canvas layer. Okay, so maybe it's just an issue with the screen flash. Oh, we're not using that. Text is declared but never used in the bot. Really? How'd that happen? No, it's wrong. We need that, just not up there. There we go. So we still have an issue with the flash. What I'm going to do is we're going to look at the remote view. We're going to keep an eye on that canvas layer and see if the flash is popping up. It does, it's just not on that layer. I feel like it should still show up. No, because it's positional. And we're always putting it on the owner. Um, we have to update any calls of that. What the heck? There we go. Why'd that look weird? It's because of that. Do I have a fade? That's our next need. Which I think, where did I last use it? It's not really a GUI thing. So fade transitions on a canvas layer already. We use a tween. Tween.start. Set color. A little bit too fast. That's why. What? Maybe that's why. We're gonna do. What the hell? What the? think the problem there is follow viewport. I think we want that. We have our screen shake back. We shouldn't need this code. Yeah, we're good there. Get rid of that. Oops. I don't know why it gives us that little flash there. Let's see what happens if we just do the screen flash. Oh, duh. I already have it fade to black. Okay. Okay, so we don't need that fade in. We do, in a way. Just have it be instant. So we have to work on the timing for sure. Nothing I can do about that. So I think the last thing I want to tackle right now is actually using enemies weighted. And for that, we just throw that right in there. If my calculations are correct, that's all we have to do. My calculations were incorrect, man. Non-object value. Choose weighted. Is enemies weighted not getting set? It has it. Oh, it's because they're names. That is why. Enemy name. We do var enemy battle factor equals data enemies. Enemy name. And this will be a string. And what I also want to do is have a chance to not spawn an enemy. I think that'll be based on enemy size. Spawn chance float equals enemy's size. 0.1 equals 1.0 minus that. 1.5. So with every successive enemy, we have that much less of a chance to spawn another one. Maybe it's even higher. So we're always guaranteed to spawn one, effectively. Let's see if that works. Holy crap, that's a lot of enemies. It's because we're not checking spawn chance. Randf is greater than. We're going to continue. Watch this. Beautiful. Reload. Do it again. Reload. Beautiful. All right, so that is implemented. That part was pretty painless because we already had the ground, the foundation. This was kind of a pain, but we figured it out, and that's workable. So next, I think we got to get into the town. We got to make a town. We need shops. We need NPCs, all that, and I think we also need the party movement, caterpillar movement. So let's make some notes. Town, first boss area, caterpillar movement, party, rewrite previous. Do not reuse previous mess of code version. Shops, NPCs, etc. Sprite sheet animation node for cares. Yeah, I think that's good. Good. Good stuff. All right, let me know if you need anything, any questions, whatever you got. I'll catch you next time.